Sherri, a CEO, speaker, coach, and author. As a business leader, I'm on a mission to empower women everywhere to embrace their most authentic self by challenging what you already know, then stretch to consider a different perspective. I share moments with people all over the world who are already on that path and are willing to share that perspective with me. Join me as we transparently consider this. Hey. We are back, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you. I'm excited to have this conversation here with you. This is season 2. If you didn't know already, this is season 2. Welcome to Consider This. It's a Pretty Girls Work podcast. And in this podcast, we have conversations that explore how we as businesswomen, as leading thought leaders, how we can empower one another to be our most authentic self. How can we do that? We share practical ways to live authentically in a personal and a professional way as well. And as leading businesswomen, we have to think about it. Like, there's so much for us to consider. How we dress, what we share in meetings, when to take the next big step in our businesses and careers, how to empower the brilliance in our teams and then keep them connected to the vision with passion and still at the same time be authentic. It's a lot. But we're here today. We're here today, and we're always going to keep it 100. We're always going to keep it real. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. So let's get it cracking, shall we? Let's do it. Today, I am so excited to have this guest with us today. Today we have with us a friend of mine who became a friend of mine through a friend. But we're going to be talking to the incomparable Elphi Bolombo. She is a powerful entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. I would say master entrepreneur, to be honest with you at this point, who is in a metamorphosis moment, I would call it right now. She's in a transformation again, and she's shifting from her focus from running her business, her cosmetic company, to pursuing something else, a little bit of a shift in career. I'm going to let her come on and tell you. Everyone, welcome with me, Miss Elphi Bolombo.
Hi, guys. Happy Sunday. Yes, we love the intro.
Yeah, we do this on a Sunday, girl. We do it on a Saturday, a Friday. It doesn't matter what day of the week. We are excited to have conversations with authentic leaders like yourself. Thank you for being here, Elphi.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've been waiting all week for this conversation.
I'm telling you. Me too. Well, first of all, let's just get into it. Because I've been waiting for this for a minute. I've known you for a while now. You yes. Started off in my life as my lash technician.
Yes.
And then you were my teeth whitener, you were my eyebrow. You were my, in the little time that I've known you, it's not been that little time, like about 3-4 years probably now.
It's been at least over 4 years for sure.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking, about 4 or 5 years. That's probably right. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, she started off with one thing and you just kept on leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. And it was like, if it wasn't this, and she's doing this now, wow. So
hustle, don't stop.
And you're here again, and we're leveling up, but it's a shift this time. But my reasoning and my reason for saying that, and my reasoning even for this season, is people always see the leveling up and wow, she's doing these great things, and never understand the story behind it, and never understand that we look at each other, we compare ourselves, and oh, I wish I could be like this person. You don't even know that person's story. You don't know how they got to that point, right? Today, you are real estate Elf. Hello, hi.
Yes, realtor Elf in the building. Hello, hi. Hello. How are you? Yes, so I go by realtor Elf, but my name's Elphi Bolombo. So basically, a little bit of my journey, like you said, we met as I was your lash tech. But then also, so I started doing that when I was in school. Are we still on here? We're still good to go?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, perfect. I was like, wow, the screen just got big and it's just all me.
It's all about you right now. We need to hear your story, sis.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I started doing lashes when I was in university, doing my undergrad in criminology. I worked like 3 jobs, and I just noticed all the people that I was servicing. I was selling jewelry. I worked at Pandora, and everyone was coming in. I was just noticing, they had their lashes done. And it was like, it ranged from like younger audience to like older audience as well. They all had it. So in my head, I'm like, this is something good for me to look into. And at the time, my manager was taking some time off. So I was like, you know what? Like, this is perfect for me to try to build myself, because I was one of the top sellers at Pandora. Not to toot my own horn, but, I was really good with making people feel good about their purchases, and I was really honest. I was like, this looks good. And if this looks good, this will look better. Okay. So I was like, if I'm making people feel good about buying jewelry, then what about something about that I owned and that, I can kind of sell myself, as a lash tech, it's very competitive. There's tons of lash techs everywhere you look. So I just wanted to provide the best service possible. So that's kind of where my journey started, but it was very hard at first when you have 0 clients. At the time I was living in Windsor, and for most of you, if you know Windsor, it's very small. So I wanted to service people in Toronto because I knew that's where I'd end up eventually. So I started doing mobile because I didn't have a place to do lashes out of. So I started doing mobile. I literally felt like I was Will Smith with his computer in the pursuit of happiness, okay? Because that lash table is heavy, let me tell you. It is very heavy.
Yes, I remember. When I used to feel it, I used to be like, can I help you?
No, I got it. We're going to
put it over your shoulder and off you go. And I was like, wow, this girl is so resilient. The way she is able to continue to just go and go. And you just did it with a smile on your face. You did it with no complaining, and I love that. So it grew. So tell us how it grew and how did we get here today?
So like I said, I just started servicing mobile clients, and word of mouth and just providing excellent service. I think it just goes to show, like your character shows in what you own, like your business, so I met Elle, and then I did really well with her, and I met you through her. So just to show how it's like a domino effect with treating people with respect, treating people well, having good products, good service, and just making it be a snowball effect.
Yeah, this is very true what you're saying, because I'll say, well, first of all, for those that don't know, Elle is the CEO and the founder of PrettyGirlsWork right now. Yes. And her superpower is connecting women, hands down, connecting women in business, in life, personal, professional development. If you want to grow, and if you want to connect with other women who are cheering for you and are celebrating you, you want to get connected to PrettyGirlsWork. That's a shameless plug. Yes. I am not apologetic about it because it's true.
110%.
Her heart is all about, and when she came to me regarding you, Elphi, she was like, oh, you need to. And it was like she's singing your praises. She's amazing. She's this, she's that, whatever. And then when I met you, I was like, oh, she's right. But I trusted her, as you said. I trusted Elle because I have a personal relationship with her, but also she spoke of your business acumen, right? She spoke of the way you came across in business as well. And, she's, herself, myself, PrettyGirlsWork, we're always like, listen, that entrepreneur that's trying to come up and build up herself, we're here for that. We're here for that. So how did we go from criminology, Pandora, lashes, and then we grew, because now we've got lip injections, we got Botox, we got eye tint, we got microblading, we got, right? And now today, here we are at real estate. Like, what?
I know. Okay, so I'll make it a long story. I'll make it a little bit shorter. But basically, once I started building up my clientele with the mobile lashing, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm at a point where I can actually afford to rent out a studio. So I decided to rent out a studio in Toronto, which brought me more clientele because I was actually able to service people who didn't want people in their homes. So there's a whole client for when I first started, I focused on older women who are all bosses like you and Elle, who don't have time necessarily to go out and go to the salon or drive 30 minutes. Time is money, right? So me coming to you is saving you guys a lot of time because you guys are all bosses. You have a schedule to adhere to. So I kind of targeted those type of women, or like moms who don't have childcare. You know what I mean? So I service a lot of moms who, their child would be on them, mom doing lashes. And I'm like, it's okay. I got it. Because I understand. So I went from that. And then once I got the studio, I was like, you know what? I love doing lashes, but I'm really good at brows. Brows are my thing. Yeah. So I ended up doing a training course in Atlanta for micro shading and microblading. Brought that back. And, with the beauty service, it's very like demanding on your body. So like half of the day, if I'm doing back-to-back clients, my back would be killing me. So just note this for later on the story. And then once I started doing microblading a little bit more, pandemic hit. Okay. So I had my studio for about, I want to say like 8 months. So I was renting inside of a salon at the time. So the pandemic hit and, we're saying like next month it's going to be open. Next month's going to be open. Months passed by and, things haven't really opened. So I was actually launching my website, which is www.thebeautylf.com. Check it out. I had to throw that in there. Okay. So I was launching my website, and then I was like, for years since I was in school, school's very stressful. I was suffering from like hair loss due to stress and anxiety sometimes. So I had already had my hair growth oil H2 Grow from 2017 before then. Wow. So when the pandemic hit, I'm like, okay, I need to somehow get some type of revenue coming in because the salons are closed and I can't do anything about it. And then it just came to me. I was like, I love natural hair care. It's worked for me in the past, and I've documented my journey this whole time. So why not? So I launched H2 Grow. Okay. Yay!
I love it. I have my own 3 bottles. Listen, I use it.
Thank you for purchasing.
My grandson's hair. It's the truth. It is the truth.
Thank you.
And I mean, my hair's blown out right now, but I have natural hair as well. And when I tell you, I swear by it. I honestly do. So I didn't know you had it from 2017. But let me just back up for a second. You said you went to Atlanta to educate yourself. Let's just pause for a minute, because we're talking about the backstory of an authentic leader. And sometimes you need to take the time to say, okay, I'm going to invest in myself. And it may be a cost. It may have a cost to it, but right? But look how it paid off, right? Absolutely. And so sometimes in the interim stages or the baby stages, infants, beginning initial stages, we want to be like, but I can't. I don't have enough money. We've got to see the bigger picture sometimes and see what monies and what revenue can come in because of that one investment. I love the fact that you invested in yourself financially. And I think as an authentic leader, sometimes we have to stop and say, okay, so what is it that I love? You just said, I love doing brows. That's your jam, right? Yeah. So if that's your thing, so we have to really always, and if you're listening to this, please, and if you're watching this, please just hear me out. Think to yourself, what is it that you love to do? What is it that you love to do? Invest in that. And it may be a cost. A cost in the big scheme of things is small. It's a small cost for what you're going to receive. And at the end of the day, it's not just the monetary payback. It's also the fulfillment that you get in doing what you love to do. Okay, so here we are. We got H2 to grow, which is straight up. How did we get to real estate? Like, how did we get to this point? Honestly, it feels like apples and like hard parts. It doesn't even seem like apples and oranges, but you know what? Talk to me.
Okay, so I know I might sound crazy to some people, but honestly, when I think about how I thought about real estate, it really just came to me in a vision. Like, I'm not even joking to you guys. If you ask me how it came to me, I don't know. That's my only answer for you. So during the pandemic, I really spent a lot of time praying, meditating, and honestly, it just came to me. Like, I really think it came to me from God. And now when I think back and look into like my childhood, and I realize like, okay, like when I was young, like I always like, I remember my dad was telling me we were moving. I always was so interested in going to look at houses. And it's crazy because when you think back, like in the moment when you're looking for your passion, you might be like, damn, like I don't know what I'm good at. But when you think back to your childhood, like some of the things that you used to enjoy doing,
Yes.
they manifest to being what your destiny is and what your life purpose is. And that's really my only answer for you. Like, it
Wow.
just came to me through God. Like, I don't know what
Wow.
else to say.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in love with what you're saying because at the end, you know me, you already know me when it comes to
Yeah.
God. We're very good friends. Okay.
Yes.
But I'm going to say that that's a wow thing. And I think that that's something that, others that may not necessarily have a relationship with God. First of all, if you have a relationship with God, listen and watch him
Right.
lead you. But if you don't have a relationship with God, it could be that still small voice inside that is saying, you
Your
really
inner
don't.
voice is God.
It is. It is. You know what we're going to do though? We're going to just take a quick commercial break right now. We will be right back. Stay tuned. Don't move with more with Real Estate Elphi.
Tap into a sisterhood of women founders and entrepreneurs with the PGW sorority. Go to PrettyGirlsWork.com and click on Pledge PGW. Fill out your pledge form and pay your monthly or annual dues. Request access to our members-only Facebook group. Then join houses that are specific to your industry or the skills that you want to develop in your business. You can take advantage of free tools and resources and gain access to courses, workshops, masterminds, small group coaching, and private mentorship exclusive to members. Pledge PGW and start scaling your business today.
All right. Welcome back. Well, we are here with Realtor Elphi. Oh my God.
Yes, Realtor Elf here.
Elfie, who is, don't mistake her. Grow Elfie, do your brows. That business is alive and doing very well. She's got staff. She's on board. Okay. But now it's a little bit of a metamorphosis moment for you because now where you would help people feel good about themselves cosmetically, now you're allowing people to feel amazing about themselves as they are attaining their life goals in buying real estate. Tell me. I
Yes.
love the fact that you said before the commercial break, I love the fact that you said it was really God. Like it was a God
Right.
for you that made you say, hey, pay attention here. There's
Yeah.
purpose here. Now let's look this way. And I love the fact that you're aware that it was God. And I love the fact that you paid attention. I think that God speaks to us many times throughout our lives, but we just
Yes.
want to be in a place where we listen, right? Or we're ready to hear
Mhm.
him and then shift or pivot, as we say now in the pandemic, pivot, when that time comes. So here we are. What made you, okay, so we know what made you go in that direction. And we understand that as an entrepreneur, would you say one of the most challenging things is being able to attain your goals while balancing life? Like, what would you say is one of the most difficult things as an entrepreneur that you've had to overcome?
Mhm.
Let me ask it that way. Because having a
Mhm.
small business and then on top of it, trying to live, the work-life balance and
Yeah.
taking real estate exams, it's a lot.
Right. And
It's a
working corporate.
okay. It's a lot. So I mean,
Yeah.
what would you say as an entrepreneur and as someone who's like always driven, what would you say is the most difficult thing or things that you've had to overcome, obstacles that you had to overcome in order to attain your goals?
Well, first and foremost, I would say one of the most important things that is not really our parents' fault, but I think sometimes getting out of your parents' shadows of what they see for your life.
Mm,
For like, I come from African parents, immigrant parents, where it's like becoming a doctor is number one on the list. If you're not doing that, good
yeah,
luck,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like just not listening to what anybody has to say. Like, really, like, I think from a young age I can really say I had that voice in my mind, but sometimes we're not able to hear it because there's so much distraction, there's so many people's opinions, parents telling you should be doing this, why are you not doing that? So I think that's the biggest challenge, is obviously you want to make your parents happy. I have so much respect for my parents, and my motivation comes from them. But at the same time, you have to remember you're living for yourself, and you have to be true to your inner voice and what God has called upon you, Nobody can tell you what that is. Even your parents, no disrespect, only you know what your calling is. And I think during the pandemic is the first time I can say in my life that I've been woke. Okay. And I have really lived in the present moment, which is life-changing. I've never lived in the present moment until this pandemic, I can honestly say, because I feel like I'm a new person.
Wow. And I hear you on that. I hear you on that, because I do speak to a lot of young women who even right now are in post-secondary, and I'm like, okay, so why are you in this program? My parents.
Right.
Yeah. 100%. And then they're like, when I finish and get this degree for them, then I'll go and do what I want to do. I think that the faster you can get to that part, the doing what you want to do, the more success you could definitely have, as well as the more amount of people you can impact, right? Because when it touches you, it'll touch someone else. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So overcoming the voices in our head. And I always say this as well. Like sometimes we think that we have to fight the voices in our head because we're, hard on ourselves. And sometimes we are, but sometimes it is our parents or society or our friends, that it's their voices, it's their thoughts that we have to kind of sift through to get to, what do I actually think? Like, what do I really want to do? And being able to be an authentic leader, you have to get to that. You have to get to that. I'm thankful that you got to that. Woo! Okay. Question. What would you say is the best failure you've ever experienced? Reason why I say that is because along the way, again, we see the glitz, we see the glamour, we see the, coming out wonderful, smelling like a rose, but we don't understand that failure has to be a part of that journey. If we don't embrace failure, then we're not learning, we're not growing. So but a lot of people try to avoid it because we have this perfectionism type of mentality that, oh, no, I've got to do it this way. I've got to be right. I've got to, and it's like, you're going to get it, but you've got to just make some mistakes. So I always call it your best failure, even though people look at failure as like not a good thing. It's an oxymoron. But what would you say is your best failure that taught you the best lesson that you can teach someone else who's maybe listening?
Honestly, for me, I think, not being afraid to fail is very important, because when you fail, you learn. So I say that to say, failure, I've had a lot of failures, okay? But I would say when it comes to like obviously work-life balance, but failing in certain relationships, I think that has helped me the most to grow, whether that be with a boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, family member. I think failing in a relationship really, really allows you to sit back, analyze what went wrong, how you could have been a better person in that situation. And in a way, it's a little bit liberating, The relationship has failed, even if it's failed like amicably, it still really liberates you. It allows you to find yourself. To have that time alone is so important. I tell everyone, like, I think people should at least have minimum 30 minutes to themselves every day so that you can really know what you're supposed to be doing. That's the only way, because if you're constantly around people, you're constantly in relationships or like out of relationship here and there, not to say relationships are everything, but I think failures in relationships are crucial for that next step in your life, because you pour a lot into somebody else, and then your cup is half full, let's say, and now that that relationship is not there anymore, you're at 100%, and you can pour into other people's cups. And I really think that's what has happened to me over the last year and a half. I was able to pour into my own cup and then pour into others, And I think before I was trying to pour into other people's cups, but my cup was not full. Okay.
Wow.
It's very hard to do that.
It's extremely hard to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are doing it out here. I'm not going to
shade.
Listen, I know I've done it my share of times. I had to learn the hard way as well. And it's not even the hard way. It's just I had to learn, I had to go through my own journey.
Right.
I think that's amazing that you connect the blessing from learning from a relationship that may have failed.
And it's a hard loss, okay?
It
can be, or maybe the easiest loss you've ever had, and the best loss of your life.
Yeah.
No shade. Oh gosh,
it's a loss, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's how you deal with that loss, right? And I love the fact that you're able to see from the personal side. And this is the thing about being an authentic leader. From the personal side, there are some things I have to analyze about myself. Am I patient? Am I understanding? Am I expecting too much? Like, am I settling? Like, all of these thoughts that you have to go through, and whatever your questions are for yourself are yours. But it's really interesting to be able to sit back and go, after I connect and heal with myself and pour back into myself and get back to 100,
right?
I will have what I need to, not to just pour into another relationship, but pour into my business. I'll be better for it too. I don't think that sometimes we make those connections. And I definitely don't think that we sometimes connect and say, oh, that my personal can definitely impact or affect my professional, but it does.
It does.
100%. It definitely does. I just think that you're one of the most authentic people I know. I really appreciate
you.
I appreciate you. I do. Because not a lot of people would make that connection from personal. Like, we want to keep our personal and our professional, but they do impact one another.
They do.
And they impact the way we see ourselves, which in turn touches on our behaviors and the way we show up. And so I'm hoping that for every entrepreneurial young spirit that's out there, every businesswoman out there that you're listening to this, whatever you're going through, understand that this too shall pass.
Yes.
And take the time to pay attention to yourself, heal, and then continue to move forward. I love that. Okay. One of the questions that I really need to know, and I've asked this to almost every authentic leader, but I need to know, Elphi, now that you've gone this far, here we are at Realtor Elphi. Listen, I can't stop saying it. Realtor Elphi. She was my lash technician. She's a real estate agent. She's a bona fide real estate agent jetting over to LA, coming back.
Okay.
Oh, jet setter. I'm so excited for you doing real estate internationally. It's amazing. So if you were to speak to your younger Elphi, knowing what you know now, right, about leadership and being an authentic boss, being truly who you become today, what would you say to her that you would need to know to make sure that you prepare her for what's coming?
Oh man, I would, if I could talk to my younger self, I would really just say, because from when I was young, I was nice to everyone. I had, my friends were the nerds, the jocks, like literally everyone, and what I would say that's most important is, no matter what situation you're in, no matter what time of your life, always know that your decision is the best decision. And I think that I should have listened to myself a lot more times. I think I could have been where I am today a lot sooner, or even, I'm not even where I want to be, but I think that listening to yourself is crucial. I think that, God wants us to live in abundance, and it's up to you if you want to listen and use the resources He's already given you to be successful, because I truly believe that we already have what we need to walk in our path, to walk in our destiny, and to fulfill what He has for us. And it's up to you to listen to God and to listen to your inner voice to find that. And it's the decisions you make that really impact your life and change your life, And I would just say, listen to yourself, because so many situations I felt like, man, I knew that was the right decision, but I let this take me out of that and make me choose this decision over that, And I think listening to yourself is the most crucial thing of life, and that's what keeps you authentic, because no matter what, that you're okay with that decision, and that is your genuine heart speaking.
I love it.
Answer the question.
I love it. You sure did. I love it. And it just really comes back to truly who you are as a person as well. Listen to that inner voice. Listen to you. Yes, there's going to be people around you that's going to say this and say that. And some of them may have different reasons why they're saying what they're saying, but just really, truly trust yourself is really what you're saying. Trust yourself,
Yeah,
trust what you want to experience and go for it. I love it.
absolutely.
I love
And
it.
and just to add to that too, like a lot of people don't know, I'm actually born in Congo, which is a huge, like it's a huge part of um how I am today as a person, because just coming from like running away from war, let's just say running away from war to being here today is like in my
Yeah.
mind I've always wanted better. I've always I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to move to Canada. And then once we got there, oh my God, I can't wait till we move into this place. Like, or like just wanting more for yourself, like that never stops. It never stopped. And it's always running in my mind 24 hours. How
Yeah.
can I be better?
Yeah. I love that. I love that drive that you never hush. You allow it to just push you and push you. I have the same drive.
Yes.
It's a
You've
constant.
actually motivated me so much, Sherri, honestly.
I'm
So
so happy
much.
to hear that. I'm so happy to like honestly, like for me, if my life in any way, shape, or form can motivate anybody to continue to do what they need to do for themselves, man, go get it.
Yeah,
Go
I
get
was
it.
like, whenever you try to book an appointment, I'm like, she does not know I need this more than she does, okay? In terms of our therapy sessions, okay?
Yo, seriously, I know we be to each other, but
Yeah,
yeah, and that's another thing too. I will say that sometimes just being your authentic self, you don't know what it does for someone else. Because I've heard this so many
absolutely.
times. I don't necessarily try to be motivating. I'm just myself. And so
Mhm.
in being myself, if that motivates someone else, well, then that's a blessing. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
if me being who I am can help somebody see themselves better or help them see what they can do or what they're capable to do, I love it. I'm here for it all day. All day.
yes. Your story has inspired me so much. Your voice has inspired me. Like, honestly, you're just an angel.
Thank you, Mama. I appreciate that. Okay. What's next for you? What's next for the Realtor Elf? What dreams, aspirations,
Oh,
goals?
man.
What is next on the docket? Because I know that drive that keeps on saying, keep going, keep going, keep going. I know it's got to keep you busy. So what's next?
So it's so crazy because I joined my real estate team REC Canada a month ago, but I officially got my license August 30th, and 10 or 11 days later I did my first deal
Woo!
on a freehold property. I'm literally like, I just can't even believe it right now, the fact that I I did a deal on a house within a few days. It's like, oh my God, thank you, God.
Amazing.
Like, I'm so happy I listened to him. Uh, so I just want to announce that because that was really like, I was literally like, what's happening
Wow.
to me? Like, God is so good. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed.
Wow.
But besides that, honestly, I see myself building a huge like real estate team. I see myself becoming a developer. I see myself continuing to grow my network. I'm obviously a long way from there, but I'm on the journey. I'm going. I'm climbing.
Yes.
I see myself being a best-selling author.
Come
Like,
on, yeah.
there's so much I want to do. I want to grow the beauty elf. I see myself being a store owner. I see myself growing H2 Grow. And more importantly, I see myself helping people build generational wealth through real estate,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
just so excited.
Yeah, baby. It's amazing. Congratulations on your
Thank
first
you so
deal.
much.
Oh my gosh. How exciting is that? Ah,
Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I was not expecting a week in to being registered to selling my first home, honestly.
well,
Like,
honey, there's so much more to come for you. I'm so excited
amen.
for you, Elfie. All
Thank
the
you.
best for you. Thank you so much for being here. I heard you saying, like I like to leave everyone here, with if you don't remember anything else I've
Mhm.
said, please remember this. If
Yeah.
you had one statement that you'd want everyone to truly just leave with in regards to real estate, Elfie said, and I need to remember this. What is that? So if you start off the statement, if you remember nothing else I've said, remember this. What would
Mhm.
you leave with everyone?
So if you remember nothing else I said, remember this. Don't quote me word for word on this, but Matthew 7:7. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. Okay? Because everyone who asks receives, everybody who seeks finds, and everybody who knocks, the door is opened. And I think that if you're in a situation where you don't know where your life is going, you don't know what you should be doing, ask God. And if you don't believe in God, ask the universe, you know, and there is a higher power. And that's my secret to success, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's all I can really say.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with God because God's the one that made the universe. So we're going to stick with that. So,
Amen to that.
I love it. If you ask, you'll get an answer. If you seek,
Absolutely.
you will find something. What you're looking for, hopefully. And if you knock, doors will be opened.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Okay. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Elphi. I love you.
Thank you for having me so much. Honestly, it's been a pleasure working with Pretty Girls Work, working with you. This is amazing. And I commend you on this great, amazing podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, shout out to El Mejia, who is in the background doing all. Listen, she is the force behind this. We shout out to her. Listen, if you want to get connected to Pretty Girls Work, please go to www.prettygirlswork.com. Go to Facebook and join our Facebook sorority. Please believe me. We know we're not, supposed to be everything for everybody, but there is a group out there. Maybe it's a speakers group. Maybe it's the coaches group. Maybe it's the financial group. Maybe it's the real estate group. Maybe you need to grow as a real estate agent. Maybe you want to grow as a speaker. Maybe you want to grow your coach business. Listen, there is something for everyone. Join the sorority. I promise you, not only will you have a network of other businesswomen that are going to be doing the same thing you and cheering you on, but you will have webinars, you will have events, you will have courses. There will be so much for you to be able to build yourself. We're here for you. Pretty Girls Work. And I want you to make sure that you subscribe, you like, you share, you send this to somebody because somebody else needs to hear this today. We want you to consider this. Okay. I want to say thank you so much for being here today and for just allowing your light to shine. It's a beautiful thing. Till next time.
Thank you so much.
Consider this. Hey.